Moving on to the present now, let us do so in the context of the gospel that was proclaimed. In that short passage of only 5 verses, the word love occurs 7 times. Furthermore, the same passage contains 3 questions. A few months ago, I read a book entitled The Questions of Jesus. The author pointed out how frequently in all 4 Gospels Jesus asked questions, dozens and dozens and dozens of times. In fact, his first recorded words in the Gospels are 2 questions at the age of 12. Why were you searching for me? And did you not know that I had to be in my Father's house? In the author's opinion in this book, the 2 most important questions that Jesus ever asked were addressed to Simon Peter. In the Gospel of Matthew, but who do you say that I am? And in the Gospel that we just heard from John, do you love me? These same 2 questions demand an answer from everyone alive today. Many, like those of Jesus' day, respond with a bland acknowledgement such as, Jesus? Oh yes, he was a prophet or some sort of great moral teacher perhaps, but nothing more. Our response must be one with Simon Peter's. You are the Christ, the Messiah we've been praying for every Sabbath day, the Son of the living God. Yes, Jesus' impact on all recorded history was so great that he divided it right into BC and AD. We're all stamped with the birth date of a crucified Galilean Jew, like it or no. But he is much more than a crucified criminal on the cross, which he wasn't, of course. He was innocent, the most innocent who ever walked our earth. But he wants to reign, not from the pages of a calendar so much as to reign in our hearts, the hearts of all for whom he died. Which brings us to the second and most important question that Jesus ever asked. Do you love me? Sooner or later, all of us must answer that question. In answering it, I'd like to make use of an anecdote, one that concerns the late Cardinal Dulles. For those who are unfamiliar with Avery Dulles, he was the son of John Foster Dulles, President Eisenhower's Secretary of State. Raised a strict Presbyterian, he became a skeptic, even worse, an agnostic, while studying at Harvard. But one day, while walking along the Charles River, Avery Dulles realized that all the precision, beauty, and purpose in nature was meaningless without an all-knowing and all-good and all-powerful God. Later, he became a Catholic and was ordained a Jesuit priest. Now then for the anecdote. While the then Father Dulles was teaching theology at Catholic University, one day at the end of one of his lectures, a student asked him, Father Dulles, what would you say was the most important event of your career? Without a pause, Dulles responded, the most important event of my career was discovering the pearl of great price, the treasure hidden in the field, the Lord Jesus himself. For all of us, my brothers and sisters, who claim to be Christians, no finer response could be given. For example, let's pretend that next week you win the lotto jackpot. What would those multi-millions of dollars amount to when compared to knowing the Lord Jesus, in whom, as St. Paul said, and I quote, are all the treasures of wisdom and knowledge. Day after day, Jesus continues to ask each one of us the same question he asked Simon Peter on the lakeshore of Galilee. Do you love me? Let each of us respond from the depths of our heart, day after day, yes, Lord, you know all things. You know that I love you. Having examined the past and the present, let us now consider the future. A recurring question that I've been asked repeatedly during the last few months has been, Bishop, what are your plans after retirement? To which my response has been, frankly, I haven't given it too much thought. At this point, I want to make an observation about the patron of one of our churches in the diocese. It's the Church of St. Benedict the Moor, a mission of the Cathedral Parish. Benedict the Moor was a Franciscan friar who, back in the 1500s, served as the cook for his monastery located in Sicily. Against his will, he was appointed the superior of his brother friars. After completing his term of office, he gladly returned to his duties in the kitchen, serving once again as a simple cook for the community. In one of his admonitions, St. Francis of Assisi made the following comments. The Lord Jesus said, I have come not to be served, but to serve. And Francis continues, now those who are placed over others should take as much delight in such an office as if they had been assigned the task of washing the brother's feet. And the more they become upset when their office is taken away from them, so much the more do they store up worldly frivolities to the detriment of their own souls. End of quote. And now to conclude, 50 years is a long time. There have been years filled with many joys and some sorrows. Thanks to the Lord's grace, I feel I can say with some truth that I may have made some small contribution to God's glory for the good of souls. With even greater truth, however, I know that I should have done more. The remaining years cannot be many. Pray with me that I make the most of them. To God be the glory, both now and forever.